Hey you guys, it's Diva. I have not been on for a minute, and it is really imperative that I come to you guys with all of the topics sometimes. So we have to kind of move away from relationships sometimes, which this is still relationship topic in a sense, but it's relationships on another level. So let's just get right into it. I do want to invite you guys to join the conversation via chat. So I'm going to go over to Facebook and have you guys join in. I'm going to also invite you all to join via Twitter. So I have some people that'll try to retweet so that we can get the link out, and I will just kind of take a look out and see if you guys are messaging me anything, and I will keep an eye on that. Okay, so here's where I'm going with this. I know that this is just one of those topics that that constantly everyone desires to get into this debate and try to decide, constantly, do we need gun control? Do we need better gun control? That's a given, but there are so many obstacles towards gun control that it's going to take an act of Congress is starting to be like one of those terms that doesn't really seem like it's really effective to even say that anymore. But it's really going to take the right individuals that are in charge to put something in place to try to get a grip. But when you've had decades and decades of freedom with accessing weapons, gun control is going to just be a road that I'm not saying we can't find a solution to it, because we watch other countries have a solution to it, but we are going to have to exercise the kind of laws and things like that so many people in America, we're all so used to our freedom to do what we want, say what we want, speak how we want, act like we want, that you're going to have that big battle in the way before you would ever be able to get gun control, right? So here's what I'm going with this. We need to get a grip on hate control. We need to get a grip on racism. We need to get a grip on hate rhetoric. Those are things that we can get our hands on every day. Because this little Dylan Roof twin, you guys already see in El Paso, Texas, that all he did was something that you've seen happen over and over again in recent years. He was able to get better and better because the more coverage that comes out, the one shooter gets better than the next shooter. What is it? In Charleston, Dylan Roof got away with 9? I'm not sure how many more that he injured, but he killed 9, right? So that was that number. And then last week, this little hate racist, whatever crime that carried out in California, he got away with a small number. But now you're looking at a man that saw this has been open all the time. The fact that malls and Walmarts and Targets and different businesses are not getting a TSA grip on their locations, because ballparks have a grip on security. The airport has a grip on security. We do not live in a world anymore where you can just allow doors to open and anybody can come in with anything in their hands. We don't live in that kind of a world anymore. And then we're living in the last 4 years, I almost fell for the typical language and almost tried to say that in the way that the media says that. Let me back up. We are living in the last 11 to 12 years where racism has taken a major rise since the moment that Barack Obama stood on the stage and got a microphone and said, yes, we can. Racism has gone insane. It has always been there. No one's about to argue that. So too many black people take too much energy trying to put out, it's always been there. Bish, I know. It's always been there, and we always ain't been doing nothing about it. So that we are done with the people that want to get trophies for acknowledging that it's always been there, okay? So we're done with that conversation. We can just push that one aside. Yes, racism has always been there, but what the hell have you all always been doing about it? That's my point. That is the point that I am making tonight. You all see people like this every day. When I run up on a racist, as much as it irritates the people that end up being with me, I am confronting your racism. Even if you try to do it in a low-key way. I've had a waitress try me today. I had a liquor store guy try me. What was it, yesterday? I constantly run into people that think their little nasty racist rhetoric can go unchecked. And I'm constantly checking them. We need a nation of people that are done trying to prove points. We need a nation of people that are ready to rise up and say, my community's racist needs to be checked. We don't need you to pull out your phone so that Barbecue Becky can get 15 minutes of fame. I understand that, the what you're going through, the adrenaline rush and, the potential viral video and bringing attention to your little Barbecue Becky bitch that's been that way in the community 20 and 30 years. You got little, I'll call him a nigga if I want to, bitch, over in North Carolina, been that way 20 and 30 years. Nobody's been checking her. So that's the reason why she gets to the point where she becomes a viral video, because finally somebody got up and said, hey, I'm going to take a video of this hoe. But where is it when her two black friends that she claimed that she had, where were they when she was talking like this 20 and 30 years ago? So we need to check racist rhetoric. You guys need to stop acting like you're terrified. I confront discrimination on a job, and of course they did everything that they had to do to make sure that I am out of the picture, because people do not want people that will call that shit a shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Eon Lavanzette. I had to kind of edit that. So she says, call a thing, and she's so noble, and that's so great a way to say it. No, call shit. That's what we need to do. So when you have this racist little bastard running around across social media and in schools and everywhere else, and the people around him hear how he talks, and nobody's checking him, and he's getting his adrenaline rush, getting away with it and getting stronger and stronger and making plans and going online and joining white supremacy this and white supremacy that. And then you got a goddamn president just rallying for white supremacists across the nation, and nobody's doing anything about that, because impeaching him is a process, and impeaching him is going to take this and that, and impeaching him means Mike Pence may be president, and impeaching him. So you guys have all these excuses. So you're letting this leader of white supremacy motivate the masses to come out of the dark. And let me tell you where these bastards are at right now. These bastards not even putting sheets on their faces no more. Okay? So for the last 10 to 12 years, they're bold as all outdoors. Remember Tiki Torches? Remember Tiki Torch March? They what was their little chant that they were chanting? I forgot what Tiki Torches were going on and on about. And the shooting happened, and they motivate one fool, and he drove through and killed a girl, and then injured people. But they had their little racist rally going on, and they were chanting, they must go, we're pussies, and now we don't care, we don't wear sheets, and we're letting you guys know that we've got a white supremacy leader now, all of you guys must go. May not said it like that, but that's pretty much the words that we're thinking in their head, right? So you have this racist rhetoric. Everybody that saw that crowd of Tiki Torch people marching, what was it? In Charleston somewhere, right? So you saw them marching, and they didn't have a sheet on their face. You mean to tell me that you went back to work with that bastard? That bastard might be the next shooter. So Jews will not replace us. Oh, no, they were saying Jews will not replace us because they actually didn't have enough balls when they walked by them Black Panthers to say you will not replace us, right? So that is what they were saying, right? But here's the deal. You let those faces in your community get shown across national media platforms. You let them be shown everywhere, and you went back to work with that bastard, whispering in corners. And wasn't he the one that we saw in the news carrying a tiki torch? I know. Isn't he your manager? Oh my God, we should say something. Oh no, my job. Oh girl, no, that could cause problems. Oh shit, let's just talk about the weather. Oh my God, what is Kim Kardashian doing with her titties today? So you guys go and talk about everything else other than addressing. I wish I just watched the whole footage Whenever I see racist rallies going on, I'm watching the entire footage. Let me find out that one of y'all in this crowd is somebody that I'm working with, because I guarantee I'm going to call you out. I'm going to make sure that all avenues know that I think you are a threat to my existence. You are a threat to anybody black in this building. You are a threat to anybody black in the restaurants outside the building. You are a threat to anybody black on a train, bus, walking the sidewalk, or anywhere else that we got to interact with you, because you're walking around with a tiki torch at a rally thinking that it's okay to say that you don't like blacks boldly, that you don't like Jews boldly, that you don't like immigrants boldly. So you're going around, we don't know if you're going to go in Walmart and shoot up somebody. So you need to be called out. So if you guys would stand up and call out racism, if you would stand up and call out hate, if you would talk about racist rhetoric without trying to grab a phone and make that person in your community accountable. If you go to a store and they're treating you like dirt, that mother effer might be the next one walking out in the parking lot shooting up people when he clock out on his shift. You better let his manager know he got a problem. I had to call to one restaurant to go on and on with the chick's manager. Your chick has an issue with black skin, and you need to get her off the register. Go back and forth with me. I don't care. My answer is that when I come back in there, I need to see that you have taken that chick out of the vicinity of dealing with black people before there's a problem that somebody might end up being hurt by her, because she's going to let her bad day act out some maybe evil emotions that could become deadly. So, yes. You're not going to get gun control until we get hate control, until we get racist rhetoric control, until we get rid of a leader that is getting away with causing rallies and I'm sorry, I can't even remember because there's so much happening all the time. The shootings always kind of throw us off, but they were saying some really hateful stuff in the chant that he was leading when he was speaking in North Carolina. And nobody checked that. How does this dude get back on aircraft that we pay taxes for? How does he get his fat ass in there and DoorDash some goddamn McDonald's in a house we pay for? But he's allowed to rally up white supremacists that have gone radical? Domestic terrorism on the rise, and nobody's going to make a big deal about it? How dare you sit in a nation and make a big deal about 9/11 and not have an issue with racist, hateful, domestic terrorism acts being planned in suburban neighborhoods everywhere? Do you see the house that's being surrounded right now on the news on El Paso? This dude is living in an everyday home and neighborhood. So this is not something that is so far gone. You spent years taking and killing soldiers, including mine, messing around with business that's not ours, taking lives of our American soldiers across seas, worried about some shit that ain't our business, but you can't get all of those resources and put it in our nation and get some goddamn control over the racism and the hate rhetoric that is going on, that is causing people to radicalize and to get up and take a gun and shoot some people in Walmart who are not expecting that to be the scene of maybe, people wear crazy clothes in Walmart. Bet that's going to happen. You might see some people argue in Walmart. Bet that's going to happen. A fight or two may happen on a viral video in Walmart. That's going to happen. But our elderly and people that are in the community, maybe not going all crazy, watching viral videos all day, living their life, paying their taxes, trying to do normal things like errands in a Walmart. You see how I'm going to just keep on saying Walmart? Because we're not going to say strip mall. We're not going to say a mall shooting. We're going to say a Walmart shooting. This was a Walmart shooting. People were outside selling things. You could see the bodies laying around the little fundraiser table. Those are people that are not prepared for somebody to just jump out and to what kind of security do you have? There's a Walmart here in Denver. And when I tell you that security guard is not prepared to do anything more than to share a Big Mac with Trump in the White House. That dude sits in his less than healthier self on a stool on his phone. Every time I'm in there not paying attention to anything, with a vest made out of 5 California king bed covers on that says security. That's security, Walmart. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. That's not security. So what you have to do as consumers is say, you know what? It's time for us to go empty shelves, right? In the midst of all this going on, before the next radical food jump up, empty the shelves, stock your homes, do everything you got to do, and then boycott Walmart. Is there any way that I can get you guys to just boycott a location when something happens? So boycott them. Don't go in the store parking lot. Don't shop online for Walmart. Don't do anything. Make Walmart $0. And I bet you a dime a dozen that within 24 hours, if everyone did not go to not one Walmart, Walmart would install the best security that the White House has never seen. That's the kind of business moves that Walmart knows that they need to make, because you make Walmart, consumer. You make them be who they are. So you can make them protect you and the next group of people from being in this situation that we're watching unfold in El Paso, Texas. I dare you to take your dollar and keep it. I dare you to stock up. I dare you to just go to Costco somewhere and just stock up as much as you can and don't shop for like 2 weeks. Empty parking lots, and I guarantee you full-fledged security will take place on every Walmart in every area that Walmart exists. That's how fast they would activate if the entire nation stopped shopping there. You have to make them accountable. You don't go to ball games anymore unless they have security, do you? Do you? You don't just take your butt up in there and just go get comfortable and all willy-nilly if you don't see some kind of security system happening. We don't go to concerts anymore without making sure, man, do they have some kind of security check going on? Because if not, I don't even know if I want to go in here. So make Walmart, hold them just as accountable. Target, hold them accountable. Walgreens. Think of all these different places that they're open sesame for people that hate skin colors. That's it. You just had a dude with a gun that hated a certain culture, and he went in where he thought that where a mass majority of them may be, and he acted out something he had been planning. And people around him, you had to have seen it on your social media. You had to have seen it in different areas. You saw this individual. You just either were scared to confront him, which the fear of God is the only thing that will take me from not being able to call him out. Whether he had 90 guns on top of him or not, if he was walking around talking about, I hate blacks, I hate Mexicans, I hate this, I hate that, he would have been checked. He would have been checked. Sometimes you may have to die for the cause. You don't just sit and let people go on and on like that, because that's usually the person that needs to be watched. Little Johnny sitting up there mad. Yeah, I wish all niggas would go. You need to check him. I know you're sitting in your living room right now listening to my podcast with somebody that's just like that, and you guys are not doing anything about it. You could turn him in. You could just say he's a domestic terrorist threat to our society, because he is continuously saying that he wants to hurt and kill people that don't have the same skin color as him or the same culture as him in his confused culture, because he actually probably thinks that whites are the majority. That's how he gets caught up in the hate rhetoric in the first place. So you have one sitting probably right there in your house. You could do something about before he goes out into the community and does something like this. So no. There's nothing we can do about gun control. But if we're not going to do anything about hate control, if we're not going to do anything about racist rhetoric control, how do you really think that you're going to get gun control? That's not something that you're going to be able to do. You're not going to be able to get that until you guys do something. You have to stop being afraid to call out the people. What? It's your boss? Is it the manager? Who is it that is saying something that's inappropriate, and you guys are terrified of calling them out because of the almighty dollar? You better stand up and be willing to walk off of a job for this. Are you guys not that kind of ready? I'm sorry, I was letting you guys know that it's live for the people that were on Facebook. Are you not? What more do you need? Because I don't feel like... I was traumatized at Sandy Hook. I was traumatized in many other incidents before that. But Sandy Hook was disgusting on so many levels. Those were children. And then it personally hit me and offended me on every level at Charleston. And now this? How many do you guys need? There's a guy, he said it best. So I'm going to go over there and quote him to get ready to end the podcast. This guy, I was pulling this off of Twitter as I was watching the conversation unfold on Twitter. So thank you for those on Twitter who just stay woke, right? Stands grounded. So he can be followed on Twitter at _ capital S, capital J, peace, spelled with a capital P and an underscore. So at _ SJ peace _ His stance grounded is his name, all one word. Stance grounded, right? He said, guess who weren't immigrants? And this, it's just you're going to get a reality check with just a little bit of this one tweet. He said, guess who weren't immigrants? The Las Vegas shooter, the Sandy Hook shooter, the Parkland shooter, the Charleston church shooter, the Aurora movie theater shooter, the El Paso, Texas mall shooter. May I add the STEM shooter up here in Colorado recently? May I add the Columbine shooter up here in Colorado, right? Majority of the terrorism, he said, in the U.S. is domestic, homegrown white males. These are not lies. These are facts. These are facts. You guys can be mad at him and people can tweet him and upset and trying to correct him, but those are just straight facts. Any critical thinker that wants to try to analyze anything that he said can go look up any of these shootings and you are going to get facts. Las Vegas, Sandy Hook, Parkland, Charleston, Aurora, El Paso, Columbine, STEM, all of those were white. Immigrants is not your issue. And damn sure blacks ain't never been your issue. You have racism on the rise. You have a leader that's encouraging it by just being ignorant. And it's cool for people to celebrities do what celebrities do. And so he brought his celebrity antics into the White House. Celebrities have an ability to make large amounts of people follow them. Sometimes it's for a very good cause, like great music, great acting, great this, great that, or just sometimes people just follow people for straight foolishness, right? So you just got a bunch of people following Trump because he's in a position that they think gives them the authority to cut the fool on something they've been feeling the whole time. They didn't need Trump to go stomp in the White House eating cheeseburgers and french fries in order for all of you guys to think and understand now that racism is a thing. They've been this way. But they're feeling bold because one of them is now leading the nation. So they finally think this uprising that the white supremacy meetings have told them about is finally happening. So they're like, it's open sesame to get rid of them, right? So the radical fools are just going crazy. While this one is just cutting up and getting likes and retweets. Because when he goes home from being the president of the United States, he's over this shit. He gonna go back to fucking black pussy if he ain't still doing it now. He gonna go back to doing all the things that he been doing with black folks. Helping black folks behind the scenes, giving them money. Letting down low niggas suck his dick. He gonna go back to all the things that he been doing with black folks. You know what I'm saying? So Trump is not the friend that you guys think that he is, white supremacy America. He's not your boy like that. That dude is not even gonna be stomping them kind of grounds when he leave the White House. You're following a fool. This dude is not in no way going to be doing anything that you think that he's about, because he's just doing it because that's what he knows the majority wants to hear. And the majority got him in, and he thinks the majority will give him 4 more years. It's a celebrity move. He thinks he's making a Lifetime movie. And once he's out, he's out. He'll dump Melania. She'll probably dump him first. He'll sleep with his nanny. He's just going to go back to doing the things that he's been doing. And you know he going to get lit on more coke than they're giving him access to in the White House right now. He's going to go back to being the celebrity high idiot that he's always been, that knows how to make a bunch of money, which is the only reason why businessmen are allowing him to get away with the crap that he's getting away with. Whole different story. Hatred. A bunch of hatred. A bunch of racist racist rhetoric, way out of control, on the rise in the worst way over the last decade, especially when Barack Obama became president of the United States. It just became worse as he was running, and then it just went on its own little path of, hey, let's just say we're here. And this time, we're not going to be like our ancestors. We're going to wear our faces, no sheets. You tell them who we are. And now they have a leader that backs them, and they think that they're all that. But they really just want to go back and take their little pussy asses back home and just have been heard for today. But they don't realize that little Johnny is sitting in his room loading guns. Like, let's kill him. Mom hates him. Mom hates him. I'm taking him out. And he becomes the Walmart shooter. Right? So, get rid of the racism. Get rid of the hatred. Get rid of the racist rhetoric. How? Make laws that make it awful. Now, isn't there a country, and I may be quoting the country wrong, so I'm not going to call it out, but there's a country where if you steal something, they cut your hand off. I'm not sure if it's still the same practice, but I know that it was extreme. You steal, they cut your hand. So, I don't know. What do we need to do, America? If you get caught calling somebody a nigga, cut the lips. You know what I'm saying? Just cut the lips off. You know, I don't know. But we need to come up with some really, really grave consequences for just meanness, hatred, evil, if you want to get control. But I don't really think that you guys want control. I just think that you think it's a popular topic and you like to go on and on about it. That's why I don't give it that much room on my platform, because all you guys like is just a popular topic and you want to run your goddamn mouths, but you don't really want to do anything about it. I am constantly tweeting out locations that has racism. I will call your restaurant out. I will call your store out. I am constantly putting people on blast because I make the companies that run these businesses held accountable for inappropriate talk and actions of their people. So that's what you have to do, right? You got to get some control. And then you can talk about gun control. So it's going to take you decades to get hate rhetoric under control. So you got to deal with decades of gun issues, because until you get hate rhetoric under control, you're not going to get gun control. Guns don't walk off shelves and kill people. People that hate people that hate life, people that hate existing, kill people. So gun control is no longer just a little bitty subject. And yes, gun control now is something every time a shooting happens, it's always the first thought that I have. Yes, gun control now, but you need to see that when we look at all of these mass shooting incidents, hatred, evil, and get those goddamn depression drugs and anxiety drugs, and get that off the market and go to some cannabis. Treat these fools with cannabis. You're treating them with chemicals that are activating their foolishness. Like, it's just like putting it on level 1000. Get them off of the pharmaceutical bullshit and put them on some natural treatment for their issues, because those pills are not making it any better. But we do not have time for a big pharma conversation. Not right now. Those are my thoughts. You guys give me feedback at Miss Diva for you. I know my trolls are coming because they always show up. So may the trolls feel convicted in their souls for everything that they're going to tweet out to me after this podcast, right? May they feel the conviction of karma, and may Dharma show up as well. All right, there we go. So put some evil on those that are coming for me. Follow me on social media to give me your feedback. Miss Diva for you. MZDEEVA, the number 4, YOU.